Respected Dharma Masters, fellow practitioners, guests of this YouTube channel, A弥陀佛. Today's brief Dharma Talk will be on the 6 realms of existence and what happens when we die. A very complex topic of conversation, but in this brief Dharma Talk we will discuss it briefly. What are the 6 realms of existence? And we will come back to this. But so you can have a running list and know them if you've never heard of them before, the 6 realms of existence are the realm of celestial beings, the realm of asuras or devas, the human realm, the animal realm, the realm of the hungry ghosts, and the hell realms. And each one of these realms are dependent on what we do. Everything is cyclical. Everything is cause and effect. Everything is karma. So in this realm that we currently exist, in the human realm, what we do now is extremely important to where our next birth will take us. There are many that do not believe in reincarnation and say that you only have one life and then you can either go to the heaven or the hell. This is wrong view, and this is incorrect according to the Buddhist teachings. Because even the Buddha says that even heaven is temporary. Heaven is not eternal. And as you see, heaven is the ultimate goal as far as this cycle of birth and death, where the object is to leave this cycle of birth and death, so there will be no more birth and there will be no more death. The interesting thing in the West is because of Western religions have a very this or this, and sometimes it's not logical. But the reason that the cycle of birth and death continues over and over and over, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, is because of our deeds, our thoughts, and our words. If we mind our speech, mind our thoughts, always keep our mind focused, always Amitofo, 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 and we are always keeping the Buddha in our heart and in our minds, we will be not only eradicating karmas of past eons. The sutras tell us that one simple recitation of Amitofo is enough to destroy evil karmas of inconceivable eons. So we should always keep our minds and our hearts and our lips focused on Buddha Amitofo, the Buddha name. Follow our original teaching, Shakyamuni Buddha, who taught us of these 6 realms. Now, I'm not going to go into, in this short Dharma Talk, what happens in each one of these realms, because if we took the hell realms just themselves, that would be a series of many, many videos. There are several sutras that describe these hells and what happens in them, and the special Avicii hell, which is a really, really bad one. But what we will focus on in this brief talk is that it is not just a choice of this one life and that's all you get, because that's not logical. Everything, even if you look in nature, everything is a cycle. Everything is cyclical. Something that is a beautiful flower is growing And it starts off as the little seed, and the little seed germinates and becomes a beautiful flower. And someone sees that flower, and they want to pick that flower, and they want to have that beautiful flower in their home. So when they pick that flower and they take it home, the flower has already changed. The flower has changed from the seed to the beautiful flower to the picked flower. And as this happens, the moment life begins, death begins. You see? So even though the flower looks beautiful, the moment it's picked, it's dead. But it still continues to give off fragrance, it still continues to give off its beauty. But the cause, the ultimate goal, the ultimate reality is the flower is going to wither away, and it is going to crumble, and it is going to turn to dust and go back into the earth. And the cycle begins. Then it becomes part of the earth, and a seed is planted in the earth, and so on and so on and so on. But there's a constant cycle. Now, of course, plants are not sentient beings. So the plants do not have the ability to control their thoughts and meditate and think about their existence. And that's why having a human birth is so important and so rare. In this life now, because of your past karmas, you have been granted a human birth, which is exceedingly rare. So in this birth, one of the 6 realms of existence of the cycle of birth and death that we're all trapped in. In this realm, the human realm, you now have the opportunity to come into contact with the Dharma, to come into contact with the Buddha. And ultimately, that Buddha nature that is in you, the Buddhahood that is in you, the Buddha that is in you, you have the ability to begin to focus on that, and to focus on why there is suffering, why do these bad things happen, and why does calamities and all of this happen? Well, the Buddha already taught us this. It's all because of our karma. Everything that happens in our lives is a direct result of our actions, including the realms and where we wind up after death. So what happens after death? When the physical body, this body, breathes its last breath, it says, and says the Buddha name one last time, or surrounded by friends, monastics, fellow Buddhist practitioners, and they recite the name to help the dying individual. Well, depending on our karma is depending on what realms we will wind up in. If we did wonderful meritorious deeds, and we said great words, and we helped the sick and the poor, and we focused all of our energy on doing good deeds and having good speech and right thoughts, then we very may well enter into the heavenly realms, the realms of devas or the celestial beings. But my friend, heaven, you go to heaven. But when all of those meritorious deeds have been exhausted, you will leave the heaven and come back into a human birth, or one of the other realms, more than likely a human birth. If we did horrible deeds, and we were miserly, and we said bad things, and we treated our fellow sentient beings horribly, we had wrong view, we had a disdain for religion, we had a disdain for Buddha, we had a disdain for the Sangha and the Dharma, then we may wind up in one of the hell realms, or the realm of the hungry ghosts, where there are more sufferings than you could imagine. But even the hell realms are not eternal. In this cycle of birth and death, nothing is eternal. Everything is changing. Everything is always in flux. Everything becomes something else, follows into something else, continues a pattern. Causality is what we call it. So the hell realms are not eternal, but the hell realms are not a place that, or a state of existence that one would choose or one would want to go. The realm of the animals, the hungry ghosts, the same. So you see these different realms, and the human realm is sort of in the middle. There are 3 upper realms, 3 lower realms. And what Buddhism teaches us is how to go to none of those realms, how to escape all of those realms, because each one of them is temporary. Granted, though, it may be millions and millions and millions and millions of years in those realms, like the hell realms, or the heavenly celestial being realm. But all of that ultimately ends at some point and returns and goes back. Buddhism teaches us how to go beyond, how to get out of this whole cycle. And Buddha Amitabha teaches us in his vows that there is another place. There's another land. There are Buddha lands throughout the 10 directions. But there's one special Buddha land that you can go to. The Western Pure Land, where, unlike any other Buddha land, even if you have still bad karmas in you, when you die, you can take those with you to the Pure Land. In the Pure Land, there is no suffering, there is no torture, there's no hell realms, there's no animal realms, there's no any of that. But the karmas that you take with you are being burned away as you are receiving instruction directly from the Buddha and the Bodhisattvas, so that you can make the vows that you made in this life every morning and night. The vows you make to upon death enter into Amitofo's Pure Land and then become the Buddha. You realize that Buddha in you, your Buddha nature, but you're learning directly from Amitofo in the Pure Land, which is a wonderful thing. Man, woman, old, smart, ignorant, fat, skinny, hardworking, lazy, everyone can go to the Pure Land and escape these 6 realms, this one cycle of existence. Being the people say, well, if you believe in the God, you go to heaven. Well, which God? There's so many gods. Even the Buddha says there's so many gods, and they all have their own heavens. If you are a Christian and you believe in the Jesus and you do the things that Jesus tells you to do, you will go to Jesus' heaven. But unfortunately, even that ends. If you believe in any number of other gods, you'll go to their heaven. But all of those heavens fade away eventually, because that is the law of the universe, is cause and effect. You can see this causality every day in simple functions. Simple things that we do can prove to us and show us the laws of causality. So the logical thing to do would be to say, heaven is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But if heaven is not completely eternal, even though it may seem to our limited human minds, we cannot fathom eons and eons and eons of bliss. But ultimately, those eons end. No, we should choose what is away from all of this cycle. And when the Buddha teaches us how to escape the cycle of birth and death, we should apply it and we should pay attention. We should meditate. We should chant the Buddha name. We should have faith and make vows to go to the Pure Land. So that when we become the Buddha, we can then save other sentient beings. Not just ourselves, but we will save other sentient beings. And if someone in this birth is focused on heaven so much, why not try to make heaven now? Even as you are a Buddhist, why not try to make the Pure Land now? Because the secret is when you are chanting Amitofo, 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 Amitofo. When you're chanting, a piece of the Pure Land surrounds you. When you recite the Nyemfo, the Buddha name, the Buddha is meeting you in the middle. And it's a beautiful thing. But focus on making the Pure Land now, the Pure Land here. Keep your eyes on the Pure Land in the West. Keep your heart and your mind focused on Amitofo. But focus on making the Pure Land here. What are you doing? Are you helping those in need? Are you watching your speech? Are you being a friend to everyone? Are you showing animals compassion? Are you exhibiting tolerance? Because if you do this, and I do this, and we all do this, the Pure Land can be here in a temporary state. You take that with you. Keep the Pure Land always in your mind, in your lips, in your heart, and Amitabha Buddha, but also keep the Pure Land here, on our feet, under our feet. So the 6 realms of existence. You have the celestial realm, the realm of the celestial beings, heavenly beings. You have the devas or asuras, the gods or demons realms. You have the human realm, which you're very familiar with. We have the animal realm, the realm of the animals, hungry ghosts, and the hell realms. And do your research on these realms. Now that you know what they're called, do the research on these realms. Because it is very important to know the states of being in the one cycle, so that you know what to escape, so that you know what you're escaping from, so that you know what each one of these realms hold. And as we have more time in future mini Dharma talks, we will explore maybe each one of these realms. But I wanted to give you a brief explanation of these realms. And know that when we pass away from this life, where our final state is directly related to what we do now. So again, the causality. Always remember to try and guard your thoughts, your speech, your deeds. Rein in your mind. Tame the monkey mind, as it's called. In your meditations, focus on one sound. The name Amitofo. Namo Amitofo. It sounds so very simple. And it is very simple practice. As time comes, as we've said in past Dharma talks, you can add other things. You can add the Da Beicho, you can add any number, you can chant the whole sutra, the Amitwo Jing. But the one thing that you can do to help you not return, to help you break from this, is to constantly recite the name of Amitabha Buddha and do your research excuse me, on the 6 realms of existence. You see, when we know what a thing entails, we know how to avoid that thing or that situation. So now we know. We know what the 6 realms are called, and we briefly discussed what they are and why we should want to get out of them. I hope this Dharma Talk finds you in good health and the blessings of the Buddha. As always, I try to make these Dharma Talks very simple and not use a lot of flowery language, because I want people, Westerners, to understand the basic concepts. Basic little things. Some would say almost explaining things to a child, so that a child could understand. Because we all have a childlike quality when it comes to learning, and especially new things. We should be soaking the knowledge up, but it should be presented in a very simple way. And hopefully that's what I'm doing. To all of my viewers in the Asia, China, Vietnam, you have humbled me with your wonderful comments on Facebook, my Facebook page. And even though these talks are mostly made for Westerners, Western Buddhists, you make my heart happy, and thank you for that. For my Western viewers, I hope that these Dharma Talks are starting to sow little seeds, little kernels of the faith, and little kernels of the teachings, the wisdom of the Buddha. If you have any questions or comments, you are more than welcome to message me on the Facebook channel, on my YouTube, my Facebook channel, Facebook, 是大心, and on the Facebook, on the website. I keep saying the same thing, but I mean the Facebook or the YouTube. So I hope this brief Dharma Talk has helped you maybe explain a little basic baby steps on the 6 realms and what happens when we die. So until next time, my prayers with you, and the blessings of the Buddha with you and your family at all times. 阿弥陀佛。